And I'll also be discussing the role of assessment in making instructional decisions to improve teaching and learning.
And I will also tackle about the applications and implications of assessment to teaching and learning.
So, educational assessment is a goal-oriented process that involves comparing educational performance with educational purposes and expectations. So, these expectations are derived from the institution's mission, faculty intentions in program and course design, and knowledge of students' own goals. So, the basic concept and principles in educational assessments include purposefulness. Assessment is always done with a clear goal or outcome in mind. This could be to measure a student's understanding of a topic, their ability to apply knowledge in real-world situations, or their progress over a period of time. So second is comparability. Assessment involves comparing a student's performance with set standards or benchmarks. This can be set by the institution, national education bodies, or even international education standard. The third one is student-centeredness. So the process of assessment takes into account the individual goals, needs, and abilities of each student. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach, but rather a personalized one. The fourth one is feedback and improvement. So assessment is not just about grading or ranking students. It's also about providing feedback that students can use to improve their learning and performance. The fifth one is validity and reliability. The assessment methods used should accurately measure what they are intended to measure, validity, and should yield consistent results over time, reliability. And the sixth one is fairness. So assessment should be equitable and fair, providing all students with an equal opportunity to demonstrate their learning. So remember, the aim of assessment in education is not just to grade or rank students, but to enhance learning and improve educational outcomes.
So, assessment plays a fundamental role in making instructional decisions to improve teaching and learning. So, here's how. So, the first one is determining students' entry behavior. So, in this phase, assessment helps determine students' understanding and skills at the start of instruction. So this information can guide the teacher in deciding where to start instruction and what level of difficulty to begin with. So the second one is identifying learning needs. In this phase, assessments can reveal specific learning needs of students. For instance, it can help identify areas where students are struggling or excelling. This can inform the teacher about what areas to focus on, what teaching methods to use, and what resources may be needed. So, third one is the monitoring progress. So in this phase, regular assessments can provide a clear picture of how students are progressing in their learning. This can help teachers adjust their instruction methods and pace to match students' learning progress. So number 4 is evaluating instructional effectiveness. In this phase, assessment results can provide feedback on the effectiveness of teaching methods and materials. If students are not performing well in assessments, it might indicate that the teaching methods or materials need to be revised. Fifth one is the guiding future instruction. So in this phase, assessment results provide valuable data that can guide future instruction. For example, if assessment results show that a particular topic was not well understood by students, the teacher can revisit that topic in future lessons. So the last one is promoting student self-assessment. So in this phase, assessment can also help students evaluate their own learning. So they can reflect on their performance, identify their strengths and weaknesses, and set learning goals. So in essence, assessment is not just about grading students. It's a tool for instructional decision-making, contributing to effective teaching and improve student learning.
Now let's talk about the assessments. So the first one is formative assessment. This involves ongoing feedback during the learning process, and it helps teachers adjust their instructional strategies and help students understand where they need to improve. Examples of this is having students submit a sentence or two about their understanding of a topic. The second one is summative assessment. This type of assessment measures students' comprehension of a topic at the end of an instructional period, like a unit or semester, and it helps teacher understand the effectiveness of their instruction. Example of this is making your student do a final project, or for instance, it could be a term exam for college students. The next one is diagnostic assessment. This pre-assessment allows teachers to identify students' strengths, weaknesses, knowledge, and skills prior to instruction or intervention. It's often used to plan what will be taught based on the students' needs. So, common types of diagnostic assessments are quizzes. Next is self-assessment. So this encourages students to evaluate their own learning progress and performance. It promotes self-reflection and responsibility for learning. So example of this is online quizzes that give students immediate feedback on their performances. So that's all about the assessment. Okay, Miss Missy, I have a question for you. So if the student failed to pass the standard and expectations of the school and the institution, are the teachers to be blamed or the student?
It's a very interesting question, student, and honestly, the answer for that is students fail to pass the giving standards of the institution or school. Honestly, it's not just the fault of the students. For the instance, you are a teacher. Your job is to teach the student. So no matter the circumstance, you should find a way to address the needs of the students and not put the blame on the students' own characteristic, but always put in mind that your job is to teach them. So you need to be able to find a way so that you will be able to pass maybe someday the given standards of the institution. That's all from my answer, Mr. So, Ms. Milka, I have a question for you. How important is assessment in making instructional decisions to improve teaching and learning?
Thank you for that wonderful question. So my answer is, assessment plays a crucial role in making instructional decisions to improve teaching and learning. It provides valuable information about students' progress, understanding, and areas of improvement. So overall, assessment is a powerful tool that informs instructional decisions, supports personalized learning, and enhances the teaching and learning experience. It empowers educators to adapt their approaches, address individual needs, and create an inclusive and effective learning environment. Ms. Durian, I have a question for you. So, what does it mean when we say assessment should be built into teaching and learning rather than separately?
So thank you for that question. So my answer to that is the statement stresses that assessment should be part of teaching and learning, not separate. So it means assessments happen throughout teaching, like gathering data, understanding it, and using it to improve teaching. By doing this, teachers can see how students are doing and decide how to teach better, and also make learning more effective. This way, assessment helps students learn better, not just for grades.
So that's all for today.
So we hope that you learned something about the discussion for today. Again, I am Durian Rain with Eve.
I am Kadi